I've been covering a lot of the political wranglings over the last couple of weeks because I was advised that it's a hot topic that people want to know about. But I understand all too well the effects of remaining in such low frequencies, and I can see that it's time to pull back a bit. I learned one very important lesson regarding this awakening some years back. If we focus on dark content too long, it makes us physically, mentally, and emotionally ill, and I would never want to do that to you. I think it's time now to pull back because this political rabbit hole is getting deep. Sure, we will identify notable events and do some shorts on current events, but I think it's best to let the talking heads in suits focus on the minutiae while we learn more about where we are going, so that we can manifest our future and pull away from this anchor of deception. I encourage your feedback so that I can best tailor the content that you need, but I will always exercise judgment over what I will create. After all, it's a very intuitive process, and not just a matter of looking something up. I have to be moved to create certain content, and I've been watching this movie a long time, and I think we must now let the players play until the day that the announcement is made that will change our existence as we know it. That announcement is said to begin with, "My fellow Americans, we are not alone." So let's take a look at what is happening very far behind the curtain in the realm of galactic existence. First, we're going to take a look at a recent report by Elena Danaan, emissary for the Galactic Federation of Worlds. I'm going to keep pretty close to her script for accuracy, and as always, I will link the original video in the description. So, as most of you know, there are many extraterrestrial organizations, and each one has their own emissary on Earth. So as the weeks morph into our future, we're going to explore some of the various true emissaries and learn about the civilizations that they represent. I also think it's important to switch gears at this point because as we have been focusing on our seemingly uncontrolled worldly events, a lot of posturing of deep state-controlled extraterrestrial channels has been occurring, and I must warn you that they are primarily not newcomers, but some of those exist as well. We are seeing a trend of tried-and-true, highly respected whistleblowers turning to the side of deep state control. I don't know exactly how they are getting them yet, but after listening to them a few times, I can spot the shift in their content from one of encouragement and education to one of fear-based reports of Federation infiltration, which is simply not true. So we'll start with this return to galactic enlightenment with a recent message from the Galactic Federation of Worlds through their emissary Elena Danaan. Thor Han, High Command Officer of the Excelsior Battle Station, Galactic Federation of Worlds, assured us that the Dark Sitkar have retreated from almost every part of the galaxy and all rogue Sitkar groups have been intercepted. Our victory in this fight for our galactic advancement is no longer uncertain. The disclosure plan for Earth of extraterrestrial presence and existence has not been delayed. It's following a plan that was described by Thor Han Eridion as genius, and it's unfolding in a way that has been split into different operations that are related to different organizations. As an observer, this tells me that humans have great capacity to not only devise, but persist against all odds with relentless tenacity. That is President Donald Trump, and he's doing exactly what he was chosen to do. Elena said that the Galactic Federation of Worlds and the Intergalactic Confederation are still conducting aerial displays of their spaceships every night across planet Terra. People are reporting them across the world. There's a grid of ships where you can see between 2 to 4 ships at a time in various places around the world. I confirmed this, and according to Newfork's monthly index, approximately 2,300 UAP sightings were reported worldwide for events occurring over the past 6 months, as opposed to 1,517 UAP sighting in the first 6 months of 2024. So that's a 52% increase, which is pretty hefty. I've talked about it so many times, but many still don't get it. You must raise your frequency, especially for the intergalactic confederation vehicles, because they exist in higher frequencies as explained by Danan, and if you are already in a higher frequency, you have a better chance of seeing them uncloaked. She continued that most of them are using frequency cloaking shields. I have done that myself, and I can't wait to learn how to perfect, or at least direct this power a bit better. What I can tell you is that in my awakened dreams, I intend a protective shield around myself that is impenetrable to things that will harm me. I don't want to say that I imagine this field because I consciously feel and perceive this field, and it sits about 3 feet out from my physical boundaries. So that's just a tip that you might want to try. Intend a protective energetic field of vibration around you. Know that it exists and trust it to protect you. We have so much to learn, guys. The galactics are so further beyond what most humans can even comprehend, and eventually, enough will awaken to their true potential that we will be living in a 5D dominant world, and that's going to be amazing. Yes, we have a lot of work to do. The evil ones and their minions have done everything they could to lower the collective vibration of our planet, but the human spirit is capable and ready for a higher existence. It's inevitable, and while this cleansing is painful for many, it's going to take us beyond what we ever thought was possible. That's why you keep hearing the seed phrase, buckle up. Let me stop here and ask you to remember to hit all the buttons that help me fight this algorithm, and don't forget to share these videos. I know that many of you shared the political content, but do you have the commitment to awakening to share the ET stuff that's gonna put you out there on a limb with many others who are working to move Terra into the next stage of evolution? The Earth Alliance continues to work hard for us. The good military across the world, such as the U.S. Navy and now some portions of the very compartmentalized Air Force, has split and aligned with the Galactic Federation of Worlds. Elena also spoke about the technologies, and that the Earth Alliance is in charge of disclosing retro-engineered technologies and ancient cooperation between governments and extraterrestrials in the past. So it's sounding like we've got to get past some mass education first, guys. I've done many videos on this topic in the past and will be re-releasing them for those just coming on board, but it's very important to know that these very dark extraterrestrials who had relationships with our government in the past were removed beginning in 2021 and ending in 2022. They are not extinct, but they are no longer on our planet and many others. So both the Greys and the Reptilians are gone from Terra. Their evil alliance with dark energies on Earth has been dissolved, and now only the positive ETs are here. This was again recently confirmed by Thor Han. There are a lot of hybrids still who have infiltrated governments and higher levels of armies across the world, but these hybrids are no longer in power because the top of their evil pyramid has been cut off since the Grey and Draco reptilians have gone. They still conduct some psychological operations, but humans are becoming more aware of their games, and our ability to recognize psychological operations, such as Project Bluebeam, Polar Shift, and Solar Shift, just to name a few, is really growing. It has been confirmed that Earth is moving into the 5th density, but it's a very slow process so as not to cause any drastic or jarring shift to humanity. There will be no need to stress or panic for the awakened, no need to worry or panic about running out of food and supplies, or that you aren't good enough. This is all deep state operations to keep people under the control that fear provides the malevolent ones. The Earth and the solar system have moved into a higher frequency area of our galaxy, where the average density is 5th density. This turmoil that we are experiencing on Earth is our passing through 4th density. This adjustment comes from the stars and then passes through the planets near it. We are going very slowly now to be on the same frequency level as these higher beings and species. For many, our job is merely to follow the shift, and it's important to understand that the ETs don't purport to be godlike, so there's no conflict there. Picture them as people who have excelled beyond average human performance, but humans absolutely have the same capacity to progress into the fifth density and higher. It's important not to get into conflicts because this type of behavior is the old paradigm fighting back. The deep state wants to keep us fighting and divided, and this is what we must resist. Share our differences, because when diversity becomes infinity, that's when the fun begins. Different opinions should stimulate discussion, not anger and hate, because this is our growth. Diverse thought enriches us, and for this reason, we must also strive to interact with respect and politeness. This is what we strive for. The disrespect and downright abuse of others on the internet is holding us back, guys. There is no intelligent discussion. Lower vibrations just want medbeds, but when they learn to connect with the heart, the wisdom and prosperity they seek will arrive. So when you call people liars and evil because they refuse to lie to you, you are the very thing that's holding progress back. Elena also gave us a message from Prince Ea, which I will cover in a separate video. It will discuss guidance for those who are awakened. Prince Ea is the heir of the Anak Empire. He's a very compassionate being who has protected Earth for many years. Prince Ea has protected and provided the original unspoiled Homo sapien DNA pattern, which he calls the Grail, which will be implemented in specific medbeds to cure genetic diseases and alterations performed on humanity by the deep state. So yes, medbeds will repair genetic diseases, and we have discussed this in the past as to whether genetic abnormalities can be repaired, because they originate at conception, which is how the medbed scanners apparently work. They scan back to one's conception to find the optimal conformation of various cells within our body. So the question arose, if the original cell was mutant that was passed down from our parents, can it be repaired? It was kind of a which came first thing, the egg or the chicken. Well, now we are receiving confirmation from Thor Han that the beds will indeed resolve genetic conditions. I am so happy to report this to you guys because I know many of you have been searching for this answer. I cannot confirm the time that the general population will gain access, and there was some concern on my part, based on something that was said, whether we were only going to be getting reverse-engineered beds, but the answer is no. Remember the stockpiles that have been seen, and now we are being told that we will be receiving very powerful beds that have a blueprint and can restore us back to our original DNA. And of course, that one factor will assist us in moving to the fifth density. So, hang on to your hats over the coming weeks, where we'll defy the trolls who ridicule us as we explore the next phase of life on planet Terra.